small towns to big cities and everywhere in between. We're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Hi there, and welcome to another Positively America. I'm Ernie Anastas. You know, I really want to thank you all for spending a little time with us, and because you're here, it means that you are open to some new ideas. So let me try this out on you right now. Did you know that having a little chaos in your life, call it stress, can actually be good for you? Oh, I know it seems strange, but my first guest right now has more to tell us about the actual benefits of stress. She is an award-winning journalist, author. She is a network newscaster, international educator, and also the author of several books, including Let the Baby Drive. All good stuff. I want to welcome my dear friend, Lou Hanessian. Lou, always great to work with you. Nice to have you here.
Ernie, so great to be with you. Yeah, how can stress be good? Don't we want less of it? You know,
Right.
The science is in. I'm always into the latest research through my work with graduate students, etc. And you know what's fascinating? This is such positive news. There's such a thing as positive stress.
Yes.
And that is, what is our attitude towards stress? It turns out that if we think stress is bad for us, it's actually not so good. But
And most of the time we think it's bad for us, yeah.
That's right, but it's a misunderstanding, because actually stress helps us grow in bursts, and that's the key. It's to not have chronic stress, because when we have constant stress, we can get stuck there, and that's where we have some choice and agency.
Okay, let's talk about that. And I know that resiliency is very important here, right? That word is going to be played a lot in our conversation.
I do a ton of work with resilience with individuals to big companies, and it's a buzzword, but what does it mean? You know, the thing is, we're built for resilience. So we're built to take a lot. But there are certain things we can do to build resilience. It turns out it's a set of learnable skills. We're not born, it's not a talent. It's not a trait just some special people have.
Yeah.
And so what are these things that actually boost resilience? And it turns out having a positive role model, that boosts resilience. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
and
that
I know,
a lot.
Ernie, I know. And the thing is, what's so interesting about that is that if you think about the people who have mentored you, you, Ernie, have been a mentor to so many, and you're a role model to so many. But if we think back, even in our chaos, well, who's been there for me? Who inspires me? Who even in history inspires me? Turns out that what that does is it activates the part of the brain, the front of the brain, that helps us make decisions, empathize, and calm ourselves down. Here's another thing that builds resilience: facing our fears. Facing our fears. It turns out we're a lot more courageous than we give ourselves credit for.
Right.
And another thing is building optimism. So we're not born pessimists, but it turns out that we see less clearly when we are super stressed out. And so that's why it's important to remember what are the things that help us cope well, and that is call a friend, stay close to family, build social connections, because it turns out that social support is the key determinant to building resilience.
I mean, think about it. I mean, how often do we feel great when we're talking to somebody that really lifts us up? Whoever it happens to be, a family
100%.
member, a friend, right? I mean, you and I are talking. You and I bounce off one another. Even this conversation that we're doing right now, this
You're so right.
Good, doesn't it, Lou?
It's good, and you're bringing up such a great point, because there's research that shows that the words we use to talk to each other, the language we use, shapes the other person's brain and ours.
Now,
so
if you're
speaking positively, right?
Yes.
Thinking positively, speaking positively, shapes each other's brains.
Right. So when you're around a negative situation, and you're around a negative person, so the best thing you're saying is just kind of like walk away from it. Go somewhere else, find the person that you're looking for. In other words, try to avoid it, but at the same time, if you have a fear of something, you face up to it and you say, okay, I'm not going to run away from this thing, I'm going to deal with it. So there are two things to deal with there.
This is how the brain works, right? The brain has two goals: keep us alive and help us tell a good story about it. But the thing is, if we can't predict what will be a negative situation, we have to be able to stay calm enough to assess it properly. Sometimes we think there's a grizzly bear and there's no grizzly bear.
Yeah.
But when we are around situations that are arousing negativity in us, right? So our stomach starts to churn, our throat gets tight, or we don't feel good about it. First thing to do is notice the state we're in. The second thing to do is label it. What is that thing? these turn regions on in the brain that actually make us smarter, that make us more resilient, that make us more reflective. And then we're more available and open to be curious. But you know what's interesting? We've been living through so much upheaval, and that doesn't slow down. We are living in a world that just keeps spinning.
You're absolutely right.
What if we could reframe, right? This is Positively America with Ernie and Asa. What if we could reframe to look at a negative situation differently that makes us feel more positive about it, right?
It sure does. It sure does.
What are some upsides of upheaval is...
The sooner the better we learn that in life, the better off we are. That's so important. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's so true.
Hello there, this is Marla Maples, and I'm coming up next on Positively America with Ernie Anastas.
Welcome back to Positively America. I'm Ernie Anastas. My next guest really has accomplished and has done so much. She is a former beauty pageant contestant, an actress, singer, and of course a mom. She's been the Squirt Circle with the WWE. She's been on Dancing with the Stars, and now this warm and uplifting person is on Positively America. Here she is, the one and only, Marla Maples, and you light up the room, Marla.
Thank you so much, Ernie, for having me. Such a joy.
It's great. I mean, you're such a joy. So good to see you. I mean, you know what? This is a pleasure for me. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Marla Maples, wow, you're so talented, multi-talented." No, really, you're amazing. You're an actress, singer, motivational speaker. You're a mom. You're a good friend to a lot of people.
Oh, as long as we have friends around us, we can't help but feel great, right? It's so important to be able to have a community of support in challenging times. So I've been good. Ernie, I'm human. So we go up, we go down, we go all around. I turn a flip, stand on my head and come back up again. But that's what we do. We find our way.
Yeah, we do. I mean, this is what life is all about, and you're very focused. I know that you're thinking about spiritual, mental, physical wellness, and that is your mantra. This is what you talk about and all the time, and you're doing so many things to help people. Go through a little bit of that for us, okay? Let me hear about it. Go ahead.
You're so sweet. I think that's been at the core of my being since I was a young girl. I love to get outside and exercise and feel the sunlight. I love to go in the kitchen and help my mother cook. I started learning more and more about food health when I suffered from some food allergies. And then I learned the importance of what we put into our mouth and how our body feels. And not just what we put into our mouth, but what do we put into our thoughts? What are we bringing in to our being that can create joy inside? Because truly, we have a role to play in this world today. We have to help create a ripple effect of happiness. And so we have to be prepared for that. So wellness has always been a part of my life, digging in there, finding the best way to feel my best, sharing those secrets. And now I'm just doing more of it on a regular basis.
Well, I know you're doing a lot of that, and I know that you've been influenced in so many different ways in your life. You also did a TED Talk recently, and that's very popular all over the world, very emotional, very inspirational on your part. Give viewers a sense of what you said.
Well, it was a TEDx talk in Franklin, Tennessee, and I love Tennessee. I almost moved there instead of Georgia. And they asked me to speak on how we overcome fear with faith, which is what my life's journeys have been about. So just giving tools to help people understand how not to be reactive to what's going on around us, how to take a breath when we have something come at us that feels so painful, how to allow a divine presence to support us versus just the outside stimulus of the world. And that was a talk that I was able to share, a few, maybe 1% of the challenges I've gone through in life. But in doing that, it's just, hopefully people can relate that we're all going through a human experience as these beautiful souls trying to find our best way home.
Well, Marla, it's clear that everybody's looking for that positivity, and we're also looking to feel better and to get information that would be helpful for ourselves and also for our families. You've done so many different things. I want to talk about that. And I mean, listen, you're on Broadway, television, The Nanny. We mentioned some of these in your introduction. You also love music. And I know that you've had a couple of albums out there. Very talented. Tell us about your music. You love music. I know that.
Thank you. Yes, it's an album I did a few years ago with a friend called The Endless, and I just wanted to gather different spiritual and thought leaders around the world and come together to share a message of uplifting. And one of the songs won Best Hollywood Music and Film Award for Best Chill Out New Age Song. I think that was with Deepak Chopra. And I just wanted, I'd wake up in the morning and say, God, what can I do? What have you given me as a talent that I can share? And I started writing music. And then I was introduced to a wonderful composer, and we put this together and we started bringing people in, and I hope to do a lot more of it.
Well, speaking of music, how about Here Comes the Bride? Your daughter Tiffany is getting married. Yeah, very exciting. Planning going well. This is a big time for your family, isn't it? Exciting.
Yes, that is how I wake up in the morning now, overcoming the stress that comes with, have we got everything in order? So I'm so happy for her. She's marrying one of my best friends, and he's like a son to me. And so happy and joyful for that. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have a wonderful time. Congratulations. Have a great time. We'll be thinking about you. And just so everybody can know a little bit more, how do they follow you for updates?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
Love for you to come visit my website, marlamaples.com. Jump in there and find me on Instagram, and I'll just be doing all I can to share what I learned back with you.
Wonderful.
And more important, just keep smiling. It helps. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It sure does. Yeah. Thanks again for being here, Marla. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ernie.
Taking a short break, and when we come right back, we're going to tell you about some amazing things that you can do with your new iPhone that you probably didn't even know existed. We have it for you when Positively America returns right after this.
Hi everybody, we're watching Positively America with Ernie. Yay!
All right, hi again, and let's keep going with more Positively America. Many thanks for sharing some of your time with us. Love having you right here. For a lot of people, technology can be overwhelming. There's always something new coming out, but many of these can change our lives for the better. And here to run it all down for us, some of the tips and tricks of the new iPhone, is the global editor-in-chief of Tom's Guide, a consumer product publication that reaches over 30 million people a month. He's covered new technology for more than 20 years, and he really loves what he's doing. My friend Mark Spoonauer. Mark, nice to have you here. How do you keep up with all of the stuff going on?
Always keeping up with all the news, but the best part about my job is I get to play with toys.
You get to play with toys. You do a lot. There's always something new coming out. Is it for us just to spend money, or is it really helpful, good improvements?
I think ideally it's the best of both worlds. You should only really have to invest in things that are going to make your life better and easier. And in the case of the iPhone and iOS 16 in particular, you don't have to buy anything. It's a free upgrade for anyone who owns an iPhone, all the way up to the iPhone 11 and back. And I feel like that's really the secret sauce. It's like there's new features that will make your life easier.
Okay, so tell me about some of the features. Look, we all live on the telephone, right? Every day. This is it. So tell me some about the new things that are out there for us.
Sure. So one of the first features that people will notice right off the bat is that Apple has changed the lock screen on iOS 16. So you download the software and you can customize the look and feel. So a lot of us, when we open up our phones, we forget why we unlocked our phone to begin with, and we go down this rabbit hole. All of a sudden we're on TikTok. So what's great about the new lock screen is that not only can you customize the look and feel in terms of the color, photos with the 3D effect, etc., you can add widgets to the home screen. So it could be anything from weather to stocks to your next appointment to notifications, and also the timer. So like if you have a timer set for if you're cooking dinner, you don't have to unlock your phone just to interact with your phone. So it's also a nice way to save battery life. So that's one of the key features so far.
It's great. And a lot of editing benefits too, because that's a problem. You send a message and you say, I made a mistake. I really have to correct that. New features.
Yeah, so I would say for messages in particular, there's some big features there. Because a lot of times we'll send a text message and then right after the fact, we're like, I don't know if I meant to say it that way. And what's great about iOS 16 is that not only can you edit the message after the fact, you can also unsend something if you want to, although you only have 2 minutes to do it. So you're definitely on the clock.
Yeah,
but I do like that idea because a lot of times when you send a message, sometimes if you read it back to someone else, you're like, did you really send it that way? So it's kind of nice to be able to edit yourself in a way.
Right. Okay. That's a good feature. Now, let's talk about photos, because this is what people have thousands of photos on their phone, right? So there are some improvements there too.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about the new feature is called iCloud Shared Family Photos. And what's great about this is that anyone can add to this group. So you can have up to 6 people at the same time. And when you take a photo, you can have it automatically added to this folder so that everyone can see it. And what's great about that also is that if you're at an event, the control is right in the camera app. So you can decide right then and there, I want to add this to my shared family photo, or maybe it's something that you want to keep to yourself.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Go ahead.
And anyone can, what's also good is that anyone can edit one of these photos. So if you want to improve a photo that, let's say, that your parents took, you could just say, hey, I fixed it for you.
Right, good stuff. All right, 1 minute, talk about Siri. Siri, everything is with Siri. Hey Siri, has Siri gotten smarter? Is that possible?
Yes, and I think part of the reason why Siri has gotten smarter is because Apple has gotten better about deciding what it can process on device versus off. So its dictation has gotten a lot better. One of the new features in iOS 16 in particular is that when you're texting someone, you can also text with emojis. So if you say heart emoji, it's smart enough to know not to put the words heart emoji in your text. You'll actually see the emojis themselves. And then if you're in the car, another cool thing is that there's a setting now where if you're dictating a message, it won't say ready to send it. It'll just send it automatically. So that's another way that it saves you time. So Siri is definitely getting smarter.
Mark, I mean, it's incredible. Every day there's always something new. Tell me quickly, what's really great about America? Well, I want to just see what you say. What's great about America?
I would say innovation, because there's a lot of great things going on right now in terms of technology and the economy. And I just love coming to work every day and just seeing new products that are coming out and meeting with companies behind the scenes to see like what's going to be coming out soon. So it's kind of like a kid in the candy store feeling. So I think innovation is definitely still at the top of my list. And we have lots of innovative companies that are based right out of the USA.
Fantastic stuff. Mark Spoonauer, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Come back with new information. I love it. I'm going to go have some fun with my phone, all right?
All right, sounds good. Take care.
All right, after a short break, Billy Floyd is asking America, what would you rate as a perfect 10? I'm guessing maybe king-size Milky Way bars. Yummy. What do you guys have in mind? We'll find out right after the break.
Welcome back to Positively America. I'm Billy Floyd. This week, we're asking America, what would you rate as a perfect 10?
Ice cream.
What about you, my man?
Curry chicken. Her name's Victoria. She lives about 3 or 4 blocks that way. And again, I don't have the words to describe her besides she's a perfect 10, but man, she's a perfect 10, yeah.
Is she the love of your life?
I've only known her for about 6 weeks, but it looks like it, yeah.
Well, go get her. Come on, get out of here.
Having a picnic with my friends.
Oh, lovely. What are y'all eating today?
We have snacks and pizza.
I think Sweden.
Oh, Sweden, great answer. Why Sweden?
Because it's an amazing environment and it's real nice people and you can camp wherever you want and it's, just lovely.
Bags and shoes. I love Birkin bags.
Tough to beat, tough to beat. What do we got, my man?
Hey, my wife, I mean, get no sexier than that.
Woo, I think we got a winner over here.
Me! I'm a perfect 10.
Oh, say that, say that. Why are you a perfect 10?
I'm a great mom, I'm a honor roll student, and I'm cute.
Adorable. We need a crown for you. How about that?
Yeah, you do need a crown for me. Where is it?
The queen, let's go. Perfect 10s all around. We'll see you next time on Positively America. I'm Billy Floyd.
Hey, thanks, Billy. I mean, this is one of my favorite parts of the show. I love listening to the answers. Love the response out there. Thanks so much, everybody. All right. Let's talk about this for a minute. This is how I see it. Life is full of experiences. It's important to try things you've never done before. Why? Because it opens you up to new experiences and ideas. Some things come from a natural curiosity or from other people. And of course, there are many unique opportunities that may come your way. Now, personally, I've always been adventurous. Even as a child, dreaming was a very big part of my youth. So are many of my friends. Fact is, I'm still the same way. I haven't changed. But you know that there are people who are complacent. They try to avoid new experiences. There could be an underlying reason for that, since we're all different. We understand. But here's my message. Look for something in life that stirs your blood and challenges you. That's where the magic happens. In my career, I've seen a lot of people involved in various kinds of volunteer work. It's a great learning experience, and it's true reward. I've heard people talk about it. So in a nutshell, if you want something really different in your life, do something new that will help you achieve new heights of happiness and personal joy. I've done it. You can do it. I wish you all the very best. Try it. I'm Ernie Anastas. Stay positive, and we'll see you next time.